the creation of the world. This great world in which we live did not always exist. The broad expanse of sky, which smiles upon us when days are fair and frowns and weeps when days are foul, did not always form an arch above our earth home. Long, long ago, there was no world at all. There was no sun to shine, no stars to twinkle, and no moonbeams to play through the night shadows. There were no mountains, no seas, no green fields, nothing at all but vast, endless space. But even then, there was God, for he ever has been and always shall be the same unchanging, all-powerful, divine being. Though nothing else existed, God was there, perfect in wisdom and love. Then, away back in that long ago, at the very beginning of time, God made the world. Not as we see it today, for at first the waters covered everything, and all was dark and silent. There was no sound of birds, no rustle of leaves, only darkness and stillness everywhere. What a strange, empty, unfriendly world this must have been, for no living creature could dwell in it. But God had a plan. Out of that darkness, he would bring beauty, order, and life. So God spoke, and at his word, the light began to shine. The darkness fled away, and the first day of time began. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And when the evening and morning of that first day had passed, the story of creation had begun. On the second day, God made the beautiful blue sky. He spread it like a great curtain above the waters and placed clouds high above to carry moisture and rain. He called the great space above the earth heaven. How peaceful and grand it must have looked, the first soft clouds drifting through the endless blue. On the third day, God commanded the waters to gather together in wide, deep places, and he called them seas. Then the dry land appeared, and God called it earth. But the land was still bare and lifeless. So God spoke again, and suddenly the brown earth became green with grass. Tiny seeds burst forth into flowers of every color. Trees rose up, their branches heavy with fruit, and herbs began to grow in the soil. When God beheld all these things, he saw that they were good. On the fourth day, God made the great lights that we see in the heavens, the blazing sun to rule the day, the gentle moon to shine by night, and the stars to sparkle across the sky. They were set in their places to give light upon the earth and to mark seasons, days, and years. After these things, God began to fill his creation with living creatures. On the fifth day, he made the fishes of every shape and color to swim in the seas, and the birds of every kind to soar through the air. The oceans rippled with life, and the skies filled with music as the birds sang their first songs of praise. The world was growing more delightful each moment, and God saw that it was good. Then came the sixth day. On that day, God made the animals, great and small, wild and tame. The forests rustled with movement, and the fields echoed with the sound of life. There were lions, elephants, and deer, and tiny creatures that crept upon the ground. The world was full of motion, sound, and beauty. Yet still, something was missing. There were no people, no one to care for the earth, to understand its beauty, or to speak with its creator. So God made man. Out of the dust of the ground, he formed a man's body, and then he breathed into him the breath of life. And man became a living soul. This first man God called Adam. He gave Adam a beautiful home called Eden, a garden filled with trees, flowers, and clear flowing rivers. Every kind of fruit grew there for Adam to enjoy, and gentle animals roamed nearby. God also gave Adam the power to rule over all the living things on earth. Then God brought the animals and birds to Adam, and he gave each of them a name. Yet among them all, Adam found no helper like himself. So God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and while he slept, God made a woman from one of his ribs. When Adam awoke and saw her, his heart was filled with joy. He called her Eve, for she was the mother of all living. Together, Adam and Eve lived in the garden, surrounded by beauty and peace. God blessed them and told them to care for the earth and all its creatures. When the sixth day ended, God looked upon everything he had made: the shining heavens, the blue seas, the green earth, the flowers, the birds, the animals, and the first people, and he saw that it was very good. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and on the seventh day God rested from all his work, not because he was weary, but to set an example of rest and holiness for mankind. And God blessed the seventh day and made it sacred, for in it he rested from all his creative work. And so began the story of the world, a world made by God's word, filled with his love and sustained by his power, from the beginning of time until today.